Biomimicry is an emerging discipline that involves looking to nature as a source of inspiration for new solutions. And what is particular about biomimicry is that it's about understanding the way that functions are delivered. So it's not just about looking at pretty shapes and colors in nature, it's actually about understanding how it works and then turning that into new solutions. I think sustainability has failed to appeal to some people because it seems to be about mitigating negatives. And I think we need to move to a paradigm in which we're optimizing positives, and there's a chance that the things we design, the things we build, could actually have a positive impact and make things better rather than just being less bad. I think we're in the early stages of the shift from the industrial age to the ecological age of humankind. And I think that's going to involve three big transformations. I think we need to achieve radical increases in resource efficiency, shifting from linear to closed-loop ways of using resources, and shifting from a fossil fuel economy to a solar economy. Those are the big challenges that we have to address over the next few decades.
Could you repeat one of the examples from nature you explained in your talk in the beginning?
Yeah, I referred in the beginning of my talk to a couple of good examples of how different things are in biology compared to the way that humans do things. So, for instance, spiders make an incredibly strong fiber, and the nearest we've come to that is with aramid fiber. And to make aramid fiber, it involves vast amounts of energy, vast amounts of pressure, lots of toxic waste, and yet it produces a fiber that's only just as strong as spider silk. And that is made at room temperature with raw materials of dead flies and water. So it shows that there's a lot of potential. Well, the Sahara Forest Project is in some ways the most ambitious thing we've proposed because it's potentially a really large-scale project aimed at desert environments which are increasingly going to be becoming more arid, and the people living there will be more at risk of water stress and food shortages and so on. So we've proposed a scheme that addresses multiple challenges simultaneously. And it's partly inspired by a beetle that can harvest its own fresh water in a desert. So overall, it's a model for how we could create zero-carbon food in some of the most water-stressed parts of the planet, create abundant renewable energy, and restore deserts to biologically active areas. Sometimes when I give talks and I talk about the Eden Project and the Sahara Forest Project, people kind of think, well, that's very interesting, but how's that relevant to me? So that's why we were very proud to develop the biomimetic office building, which is a very normal building type. And by using biomimicry, we've shown that there are several places in which we can make really significant breakthroughs. And I think we've shown that you can apply biomimicry to more or less any design challenge or building design. I guess the best example that I could refer to is 3D printing, which is, that's really taking off now, absolutely exponentially. And it does offer huge benefits because it will allow us to get much closer to the way things are made in nature. Things in nature are made from the bottom up, molecule by molecule. Now, we're not at that point yet, but we're getting closer. And with 3D printing, we can make really very complex arrangements that achieve a remarkable efficiency of materials by putting the materials exactly where they need to be.
Where's the difference between biomimicry and biomorphism? Because this is another concept, if I'm correct.
Yes. Yeah. There's an important distinction between biomorphism and biomimicry. So biomorphism for me is about copying the shapes of nature. And sometimes that produces quite spectacular buildings, like Sahara produced a fantastic air terminal, the TWA terminal in New York, and Frank Lloyd Wright was also inspired by natural forms. But biomimicry is about actually understanding what lies behind those natural forms and shapes, and understanding how functions are delivered in biology, and then translating that into new solutions that meet human needs.